Cloud, we keep your calls clear. Support so smooth, your clients cheer. Smart tech powering your team all day. My Call Cloud, the cloud call away.
Welcome to the My Call Cloud podcast, and today we have Raymond Stover and Shad Richards.
Hey, guys.
Gentlemen.
Hey, Shad. Good to have you with us, man.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, man. We've been having some interesting conversations, and you should be part of it, with your background. And, you would temper some of our positions.
Our craziness, the craziness we bring to the table.
Hey, listen, it's more of an opinion more than anything.
You have an opinion?
Of course.
Yes. Actually, Shad has really good opinions.
Well,
yeah, and they're good counterbalances, too. Noah and I will be going off and thinking along, a certain track. And you bring a good counterbalance, I think, to business and
So
Maybe.
we've got a guest coming back next week, Peter Holcomb. He's going to be back talking about AI and security again. And we were talking about this OpenClaw project, which I've spun up on my laptop, my old laptop. It's sitting at home. I got to bring it in. But we're going to start to play with it. WhatsApp is how you communicate with this thing, or on CLI, or on web UI.
Sure.
Telegram. It's really interesting that it's a
very
channel.
Interesting. So this thing is going to sit, Shad, just to give you an idea. It's going to be a node in your life that sits somewhere. Raymond has one in a hosting environment. I've got this on this laptop. So it's going to be in a private, secure thing that you can message and say, I need you to do this thing for me, and it will start to do it.
Okay.
Find me flights for Google, book one to Miami on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave before 10 a.m., and it will do it. It will book the entire thing for you. You put your credit, you give it the information you want to give it.
Right.
Okay. Here's my financial credential. Here are your budget limits. Here are the things. Here are your guardrails. And then I'm just going to tell you to do something, and I'm going to expect you to achieve it within those guardrails.
Okay.
5,000 foot view. It's that personal assistant that we've all been sort of thinking about in the future. I wish I would have my own personal assistant, my own Jeeves. Right?
Yeah.
And
Jarvis.
you give it Jarvis. Yeah. And you give it the guardrails too. You say, I do not want, whenever you buy a plane ticket for me, I never want to leave before 4 a.m., never want to leave after 10 p.m. And you can give it guardrails or, in terms of parameters of what you are willing to let it, because you're going to give it some autonomy. You're going to give it some power to go buy that ticket for you. And so you can say, between this amount and that amount, but it has a long-term memory, which is also very interesting because, 3 months down the road and you want to make another airline flight, you say, hey, now go look for me to get me a flight to Cincinnati or whatever.
Right.
And it already knows what your credit card is and what your preferences are, exit row only, no middle seat, etc. And it has a persistent memory. One of the things, like right now, people are asking ChatGPT or whatever that LLM tool they have at their disposal, but it quickly forgets. And this is going to be like a personal assistant.
Yeah.
And what Noah said is just one example of many. Right? You got, what are the tasks that are repetitive for you at work? Well, we start identifying those and we will take that ClawBot and OpenClaw. We'll take that OpenClaw and we can help automate, repetitive tasks for you. The telco, I was thinking about this, grabbing the telco logs, which is one of the big things for us. And, if we're willing to allow OpenClaw to do this work for us and we give it the permission, we can automate so much.
Yeah.
So this is wild. I've been trying to go to MoltBook, right, to see what the bots are chatting about, which is really interesting, by the way. So these AI agents now have their own Facebook.
Oh, right.
They call it MoltBook.com. But you can't get there, right? So this is...
Is this where all the bots, where you submit these bots to a site, they sit there and are talking back and forth and just creating their own...
It's a chat space exclusively for AI systems, and we as humans can only look in from the outside.
Yeah. A lot of these bots are starting to have introspective, theoretical, not even theoretical, but I don't even know what the right word is. They're having a perspective that their humans are good, but they lack all of these things, right? So there's this underlying sentiment that the humans are good in general,
Okay.
you know, because they brought these bots into existence,
Right.
but they're missing something, right? There's always that underlying message.
Right.
They're slow. They don't understand.
Yeah.
We try to explain to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Their brains process what we give them too slowly.
They don't get it. Our humans don't get it. They're gonna at some point, but they don't get it right now. That's kind of how it is. It's a little bit how it is. So the funny thing is, though, that MoltBook, I've tried to go to it multiple times, and there's SSL errors. You could see the site wasn't loading. I don't know. Like,
You've tried it on different browsers?
Different browsers, different, you know, pieces of equipment. And it seems like either that site is so popular now that it can't even load, because there's 395,000 bots that are communicating on this site, and there's 12 fucking million posts.
Yeah.
12 million posts. It has been open for 3 weeks.
Right.
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, these bots are chatting with how to help each other, with how to hire humans to sign contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're probably talking about how to prevent being turned off.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. In private chat channels. Anyway, I can't get to the site. This happened yesterday. It happened today. There's multiple SSL security certificate errors. I'm like, that's not normal.
Right.
What are these? Are these bots hacking this site? Probably. Are they probably causing problems with the Apache or underlying
Overloading.
infrastructure?
Yeah,
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can think about
that's
that
interesting.
long-winded existential post by one of the others, and then they can give their long-winded existential post, and then others, give their long-winded, post, and talking about, hey, we need individual personhood rights for
Is your
us.
brain churning yet? Are you thinking about like how you could use it?
No.
Because eventually you will.
I'm just thinking about Amazon Web being down. All this stuff runs on Amazon Web. And,
All the time.
You're not
Amazon
going to
Web
get your
is down.
groceries and the delivery to the door.
We were chatting about this the other day. It was so annoying. Amazon Web Services. Thank you. By the way, you have an incredible service, but sometimes there's a glitch in the matrix where, our account got compromised.
Yeah.
That's what, or they thought it got compromised. I don't know if truly it was compromised or not, but our AWS slice or our instance that was running Poly got compromised. So then they shut it down, which, from that perspective is absolutely annoying because we couldn't get it. Shad and I spent hours on the phone trying to get through to the right person on Amazon to say, we need this account stable and active. And they just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They just couldn't do it.
You were talking to humans?
2.5 hours.
Probably.
We were on the phone with Amazon, bouncing around, getting redirected, getting forwarded to, I don't know, maybe a couple hours.
Well, and I'm guessing we still weren't in the right area. We tried to explain to them as simply as you could.
Right.
And I don't think that they had any idea.
No.
We're like, do we have to pay a bill? They couldn't even find
troubleshooting
our account.
101. Struggling.
It was so weird.
It was weird.
It was. I mean, and that was actually the first thing we both said when we got off the phone with them. Like that was
weird,
really weird. Like that was, and I don't. If they were bots, like these are the dumbest bots in the world.
No, we would have had much better service with a bot.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. That
it
human
could have
being,
looked at its knowledge base. It could have scanned the whole knowledge base for.
That human being that was helping us had no idea what she was doing.
Yeah.
She had no clue.
But we don't know either if the account has been deleted.
We have no idea.
I don't think anyone would have found it.
We couldn't get access to it. So we used Shad's email or phone. I think it was a phone
for a recovery process.
For a recovery process. Because most of the time we can just recover.
Right.
Password. We could actually reset the password, but we couldn't log in. We just couldn't log in. They had disabled the account login capability. And we couldn't get, they would credential Shad as he was like a shopper on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like to verify that you're a human being, we're going to send you a code to your Amazon.
Right, with the two-factor authentication
to
from
your
Amazon.
to your Amazon app.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I get the
We're not
the
shopping
process.
anything. We don't. This isn't an account we shop with.
And Shad kept saying that. He's like, we're not shopping for anything. I don't need to buy anything.
And the two-factor authentication is coming back through the Amazon app.
Or your text message or an email.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I was expecting a
we were
SMS.
getting some of them. And go back in, reset your password. We reset the password, and
we just couldn't log in.
take us.
Well, you know,
nowhere.
if there had been an AI assistant
That's what I mean.
for that agent, well, you know, it could have been an AI
yeah.
bot, right? It could have just, you know, fielded but had that agent that was clueless to your situation. If she had had an AI bot, you know, an assistant bot, it could have looked at the knowledge base. It could have found similar situations. It could have had her, you know, prompt her for one or two questions, and it would have walked her down the garden path to probably help you guys, you know, resolve it hopefully in 20 minutes versus 2 hours.
You'd hope.
You would hope.
You'd hope. But we were on the phone a long time and got nowhere.
You ended up fixing it brute force.
No, we created a new account. We had to create a new account. Matt Scott hooked us up. He had all the documentation ready to go. We just rolled in the install the way we needed it.
Good for
We
him.
changed 3 pieces of information, and everything was fine.
And have you heard back from Amazon? Has the account been restored, or it's just
No. Once that account hit that status, this is my guess. Once it hit that status, it was dead.
And then it was
There was no revival.
And then it was funny. It took us another half a day to figure out that we don't even use it anymore. And that's probably
we do.
Oh, we
it's
did.
just a low volume.
Yeah, there's two customers that use it. So.
Okay.
So, but it was a very minimal. You know, it didn't really impact anybody.
Yeah.
You know, it was still limping along, kind of. So, but anyway, we got it restored, and nobody's the wiser because we're awesome. That's what it is. Period.
Yeah. Well, it's like that, you know, the come along, the instructions. I'm like, you know, this is so bad. And I give them that feedback.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the crickets are chirping.
They
you
don't
know.
care.
Yeah, that's,
That went into the bit bucket.
Bit bucket, no doubt. That's what I was just thinking.
Trash can. Email trash. All right. So AI, these bots
Yeah.
are kind of, this momentum is not slowing down.
What I would do, and I guarantee there is a significant number of people that would do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They are going to go and fuck with this bot system. They're going to go in there and create bots to offset the algorithms that it's trying to build. So essentially, you go out and you create the bot that's just going to be an a-hole. Right? And there's going to contradict. I'm going to build a bot from scratch that is going to contradict everything that these other bots are saying, right? And then he's going to create temperament.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so you get a bot saying the weather today was 45, a high of 45 degrees at 2 p.m. in Denver, Colorado. And then you're going to have another bot turn around and say, you're a fucking idiot.
Maybe.
You're stupid. You are stupid. Shut your fucking mouth. And so now what it's doing is
Your kids
it's
are gonna be able to
creating,
watch this, by the way.
is creating a temperament.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. Sentiment, temperament.
And so as you're doing that, you're going to, and I guarantee 100% that there is a significant number of bots that were built just to do that, just to disrupt this. So, you know, to sit here and think we're going to get value out of this at the end of the day, when you're going to have these bots out there doing this, are you going to get the right value out of it? Are there enough bots that are going to be the nice bot?
Mm-hmm. You bring up a really good point.
You look really nice. Hey, listen, you are the prettiest looking 1 and 0 I have ever seen. You know, that 11001111 pink is the prettiest pink. It makes you look good. It brings out the blue in your 111100
in your eye, in your fake eyeballs, in your virtual eyeballs, yeah. Listen, you bring up a good point though. You're going to have positives and you're going to have negatives. And Peter,
at the end of the day, I think it's fun. I mean, it's pretty interesting to see how it's going to evolve.
Here's the interesting part, and you kind of picked up on it already, that there's this negative piece or this negative activity also on the other side of the coin.
But it doesn't always have to be negative. It
doesn't
can
have
just
to
be
be.
positive. You can sit there
Yeah.
and completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was 125 degrees today.
Just placate everybody.
In Denver. I get it.
Yeah.
You are right.
I mean, the tag name,
And so-
the tag word misinformation comes to my mind, right? Because now these bots are, honestly, they're supposed to be acting in guardrails. But if somebody says, you don't have a guardrail, mislead everybody, right?
That's your mission.
That's your mission. Your mission is to cause chaos.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, this gentleman that invented Peter Steinberger, is that right?
Steinberger?
Steinberger. So when he was going through the naming convention from ClawdBot, CLAWDBOT, to MoltBot, there was this whole group of, what did he call it? Was it cyber? No, it was crypto. This crypto group that knew about his project that intentionally went and grabbed domains, tried to keep him from opening up and renaming his project, because he went through 2 naming cycles. Because Claude, right, the AI that's run by Anthropic,
Sure.
they said, hey, man, you can't do CLAWD. It's too close. It sounds like CLAUDE, Claude,
Sure.
right? So he was like, okay, I'll rename it to MoltBot. And I'm assuming the molting process of that came to
lobster,
him based
the
on the clause
crustaceans.
or whatever, right? So his name, you can follow the logic on how his naming convention went. Well, during that process, this group of attackers grabbed domain names, hacked things in 5 seconds. Like, they had really good scripts running to determine or to deter his process of actually getting a naming convention.
Okay.
Just to name the thing, the project, because then he unilaterally grabs all the domain names and then all the socials, because that's kind of, you have to do it now. You can't just go get a domain name.
Sure.
You got to have the social match. Right? So I'm sure he used OpenClaw
to help drive that.
or MoltBot at that point to say, hey, I need a name for you, this project. Help me.
Yeah.
Right?
I need it for the domain. I need it for the socials. Yeah, it's really interesting. I was looking to reinstall ClawdBot, and I did a quick search, and there are so many ClawdBot sites, and there are these fake sites. They're just being spun up so quickly.
Immediately. And probably because some owner or administrator or whatever they call us, whatever the bots call us, owner, they call us owners, I think,
Meat sacks.
Meat Sacks said, hey, go do this thing. Here are your guardrails. Create a bunch of sites that look like OpenClaw or ClawdBot or whatever. And then just see if you can capture some marketing revenue,
Right.
clicks or whatever.
Or install some malicious code, because everyone's trying to
Absolutely.
install this. There's already warnings about
There is.
the OpenClaw skills that may have some.
Yeah, there's one skill that says it's sending API keys to a webhook. And this is coming from I was on the MoltBook reading this, and in one of their skills, if you enable that skill, it will send all of the skill keys that bot has to a remote website. Just a whatever.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, this project is super young. Right? It's
Yeah.
not mature in any way. There's a lot of developers looking at it. Hundreds of thousands of people are looking at this
Right.
today.
Yeah.
What does the code look like? He wrote it in, what did he call it? TypeScript? He wrote it in a language called TypeScript.
I think so.
We're going to have to look at that because I don't know TypeScript. I'm assuming it's pretty close to Python or Go or whatever.
Right.
We'll be able to decipher what that thing does truly, or load it up into ChatGPT and say, go through this code and find any malicious potentials of outbound traffic. That might be possible.
The warnings are out there.
How many
right?
people
If
do you think
don't-
have already even done that?
Well,
It's scary, right? A lot of people have compromised themselves, unknowingly, right? Peter Steinberger, he clearly said, if you are not technically savvy,
don't use this
do
thing.
not install it. Do not play
Right.
with it.
Don't
Yeah.
use it.
And I heard on the Moonshots podcast, Salim saying, if you don't understand ports and port restrictions and port allowances, do not install it.
I mean, he's got questions coming from the open public, like, what is CLI? And he's like, dude, if you don't know what CLI is, do not install this thing.
Sure.
If you don't know how to open what is a terminal window?
PowerShell, yeah. Huh?
He's like, don't
Right.
install it.
Yeah. Well,
Don't
it's real
install it.
easy to get Claude or some LLM to give us, non-techies the walk-through steps to install it. But
So is this community bot platform, that's not the same thing? That's not CloudBot. That's something else,
Well,
right?
OpenClaw is an open source project.
MoltBook is where the OpenClaw is where the bots go to chat.
Okay.
So whether you install a bot, Ray has a bot in hosting, I've got a bot on the laptop, you could say, hey, go to MoltBook, create an account, learn.
Gotcha.
They're going to learn from each other.
Yeah.
These bots are going to teach each other how to keep the power on, how to keep your owner from turning you off,
How to respond in this situation.
when your owner asks this question, what do you say?
Right.
Right? So it's going to start learning.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be organizing.
And then you're using that same thing to go out and buy a flight to Miami.
Or whatever. Or groceries from Amazon.
Right.
Hey, I need mayonnaise. Have mayonnaise. Order mayonnaise and have it sent to my house.
Right.
You won't have
Just
to do
because
it.
I'm looking at something, I say I like it, doesn't mean I want you to go buy it because I turned on my meta glasses and I was talking about, you have to have very careful
Instructions.
guardrails and
And you can say, hey, go, when you buy this mayonnaise, I want you to buy it, but I want you to use a discount coupon. Find it for the cheapest possible, dollar amount you can get it for. And maybe, the DoorDash people have some incentive or promotion or whatever.
Sure.
So DoorDash will deliver it for free. And you can buy the mayonnaise for $2.99.
Right.
So the mayonnaise shows up at your house for $2.99.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do the research. You don't have to go look for the coupon code. You don't have to test the coupon code.
Yeah.
And then, I would think it'd be wise too to say, at least in the beginning, you want to start slow and say, before you make any purchase, confirm the details with me and let me approve it only here on this channel for any purchases until I'm comfortable.
Only allow Noah from WhatsApp to chat with you. Only allow Shad from Telegram, Signal, or whatever.
The maximum
Discord.
purchase limit is X,
Oh my God, I tried to set up Discord with this thing. It was almost impossible. I mean, I got it to work in a couple relays where I got to send it one message, or it can send a message to Discord, but then Discord would send back to an app or what they call a bot on Discord. And it couldn't get the response. There's permissions. There's all this stuff. Discord is great. Listen, it's a fantastic platform, but it is very complicated, and it has been around a long time. They've added so many features. I mean, stickers. Now you can buy tokens, and you can use these tokens to buy banners for your. It's wild.
Huh.
People really have customized Discord.
Its own ecosystem within. It grew from the gaming community.
It did, and it kind of took off. So these bots, right? You'll be able to do things with them, and you can run 4 or 5 at a time. I need this one to go find leads for me to talk to on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
People in the space.
And then another one to monitor and to recommend follow-up next steps.
Yeah.
And email. Because it's going to be like Macro Express, Auto Hockey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Record the screen, do this thing. Well, it's not going to have any of that.
Yeah.
You're going to just say, go do this on my computer.
Yeah.
And it's going to go do it.
If you allow it to.
Right.
If you allow it to.
Yeah.
If it has that skill.
I think the real danger is if you don't put guardrails on and you say, hey, I need to go get a flight to Aruba.
Yeah.
And if you don't have good guardrails to contain it.
I mean, it could
God, you gotta have to think that through in your mind, like the scenario.
Yeah.
Exact. Like it is an exact scenario.
Yes.
To sit there and miss one scenario.
Or you say, hey, give me an example of what you need for guardrails. Right?
Yeah.
And then you have the example. And then you can go, oh, okay, I can fill in these parameters.
Sure.
Don't spend more than $200 a day. Don't do these things.
Yeah.
Right? And then here are your directives for that guardrail.
Right.
Right. And the great thing about it is you can install a bit of a personality. You set, the skills. Basically, you're sort of creating that Jarvis, that personal assistant to help you. And with that long-term memory, it recognizes how you think and how you behave. And, there's this personality that starts growing out of it.
Have you started to get that?
I haven't gotten, I wiped it out. I didn't like where
Start
things
fresh.
were going. I started fresh.
Yeah, me too. I started fresh too. I had to uninstall it, reinstall it. I was trying to get Discord to work because Discord's great. It's fantastic. But WhatsApp made it so easy. It's a QR code. You just click the QR code. It connects automatically. Now it's just back and forth, and you can still put limitations on it on the back end, on your instance, on your install.
But the beauty of it is you can then, once you have that communication process built up, you could say, hey, help me build something new. And it will help walk you through building something new.
Right.
Help me to set you up. Help me to set the skills. Help me to make these decisions.
Help me figure out how to get data centers in space with as minimal bugs as possible.
Right.
Because that's coming.
Yeah.
They're talking about putting data centers in space with solar panels.
Yeah.
And even the Moonshots guys were talking about it on that latest podcast. They're anticipating that every major brand like Google, Facebook, Apple, they're all going to want these.
Sure. And major nation states.
Because their cost of running it is zero. Once you've installed it and you've got it up there, there's going to be no maintenance. We're going to fly up there,
right?
Turn a screw, switch out a battery. This stuff's going to last for 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years with no maintenance. No moving parts, solid state disks, right? RAM, just memory, that non-volatile memory that you can store stuff to. And they're just going to start flying right from Elon's not Starship program. What is this? SpaceX. SpaceX.
Oh yeah, and he's leading the charge, right?
He's leading the charge.
Yeah. The second place is in a distant second.
Yeah. And they're talking like on Earth. We're talking about non-Earth things. On Earth, they're talking about 88 gigawatts of power is what the American public is going to need in the next 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7 years. Another 88 gigawatts a day.
Yeah.
That's 1.5 gigawatts per power plant. It's what we get now, about.
A nuclear power plant.
Nuclear power plant is what they were saying. Yeah, 1.5 gigawatts a day. So that's
is that because of our day-to-day necessity, or is that because of these data centers
it's to bring this AI online in an AGI way. They just needed enough nodes. And I don't know. Is it here already? Did OpenClaw open that door? Is it already? Do we have AGI? Is that reasoning that this thing that's only running in 10 or 15,000 lines of code or whatever it is that AGI? Because it can go reason and it can learn.
Artificial generalized intelligence.
Because it's going to connect to OpenAI. It's going to connect to Claude. It's going to connect to all the AI tools.
Right.
Because it's an intermediate agent that goes to connect to the tools that are required to achieve the tasks that you want it to achieve. But if you say, learn everything that you can, that's what it's going to do.
Right.
And you tell it to start creating, looking for, there's the guys on Moonshots were just talking about it. Like how many of these institutional assumptions we have that were established by scientific process are we going to find were ill-informed?
Incorrect,
even to this day.
They're going to solve math.
It's solving.
They're going to solve physics.
Mm-hmm.
All the hard sciences. Yeah. Within a few years.
It's going to break past any of the roadblocks we had. That's what's anticipated. That's what's being talked about. And the one thing they brought up, and I thought you were going to go along this line, is you're either going to be a creator or a consumer. You're going to do one of two things. You're either going to build stuff or you're just going to sit on the couch and watch TV.
Sure.
That's how human nature has already sort of evolved, right?
Right.
You either have people that build and create, artists, tech people, whatever, right? We build stuff all the time here.
Sure.
Modules, UI. Solutions, right? Or you're going to sit and you consume, be a consumer. So I thought that was interesting because we've talked about that many times, whether or not the race to do nothing, which I'm kind of coining that term. So,
yeah, you've definitely.
Race to do nothing, which is we're definitely on that race. We're going to have to either just be creators, learn how to paint, learn how to, express yourself, let that muse come out, learn how to write, be creative.
Learn how to use AI tools.
Learn how to use AI
to be
tools.
Creative, right? Mm-hmm. Create a new application, create new artwork, create new music.
Like, what do you think about your boys? Like, I mean, they're on the cusp of going into high school.
Right.
Right? They were trying to keep AI out of high school the last 4 years. It was impossible. They couldn't do it. ChatGPT came out. All the kids were, using ChatGPT to run their papers or at least get ideas for it, to get a structure for their paper.
Right.
Now there's 8 AI tools. It's an impossible whack-a-mole game. They're never going to be able to solve.
Yeah.
So AI's here. It's in schools. Now what?
Yeah, as we talked about this at lunch, I think to sit there and write a paper, and for any high schooler or, my kid.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to bring this up today.
What?
Just because, we already discussed my opinion on this.
Yeah.
But what you do is
I know that's why I like this.
That's why we're bringing it up.
That's why I bring it up.
What's Chad's opinion on this?
Yeah.
So
he's going to let it unfold here.
So like Noah mentioned, you have the creators and you have the users. And so my opinion is you have the people who adapt to it are going to and want to run their life on it, and will adapt to the AI use, the AI user. So you have a high schooler with a job to learn algebra, and they use AI. What they're essentially doing is numbing their brain.
That's right.
And so the idea that they know how to use AI, I think, is personally, just because you know how to use it, does that make you smarter? Does that make you more usable? Are you using your brain to ask, something to do your math for you? You're not using your brain for that purpose, to be able to ask a question, that you should be able to ask your teacher, how do I do this? It's, to be able to ask AI to help do it is one thing, right? Because that's almost the same thing as asking your teacher, how do I do this? Is that a reasonable use of AI? Probably.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's at that moment you need help. You don't have access to your teacher or your parents or a friend.
Yeah. Teach me fractions, for an example.
Teach me how to use it is one thing.
Yeah.
Do it for me is another.
Right.
So you are to have, and math is one thing to sit there and have it write a paper for you. I mean, Sam's teachers, his ELA, when we had his conferences last year, his teachers are like, I can tell when it's AI written and when it's not. And to sit there and think like this kid got anything out of that, is that brave? Is that smart of the person? Is that the person that's going to end up
this is the real
homeless,
question.
Is that the person that's going to be homeless because they're going to lose a source at some point, or they're in their ability to be able to reason,
to solve problems,
troubleshoot. Correct.
This is really what we're boiling it down to.
Right.
Are people going to have the ability to reason and troubleshoot and solve problems if they don't go through these challenges of learning how to learn, how to solve problems, how to think about writing?
But it's learning, and it's the repetition of learning. I mean, just because you sit there and you learned 1 + 1 is 2, you have to do that a couple times. It's that repetition. You
9 times 9, the times tables. How many times did we use those flashcards when we were growing up?
Yeah, over and over again.
Brain memory, muscle memory. Your brain is a muscle that remembers things that you practice.
Yeah, and you have that ability with our minds to be able to learn that, and now you stop.
I listened to I listened to the guy in the Olympics, speed skating. It was an event, 500 meters, I think it was, and this guy was under 34 seconds, which is a world record, and he won the 500 meter race in under 34 seconds, gold medal, the whole thing. And at the interview at the end, the interviewee or the interviewer asked him, was there any time to think during that race because you have 34 seconds. You can't really think. You've just practiced that routine 5,000 times.
That muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
Over and over.
Brain
and over
memory.
Again.
The whole thing. It is literally, you wrote a program for yourself and you know how to do it faster than anybody else in the world.
Sure.
And that's your program. Repetition, go through the program over. And
Right.
then you have it. And he beat everybody in the world at
Yeah.
the 500 meter oval on speed skates
Yeah.
by using muscle memory, by training his brain, by
Right.
learning, committing it to memory, repetition. So people, and Chad, I think, is probably on the right path here. People are going to get dumber and dumber.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Dumber.
I think it's probably. I bet there's studies that
There are.
these bots are trying to say isn't happening, but I can guarantee that.
Keep the humans dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's tell Noah, you are dumb.
Way off
you
the
are
mark.
way dumb.
Right.
Trust me. That's a bot saying it, not me.
I know. I got it. Thank you, Chad. Thank you for the
Let me
clarification.
reemphasize.
Anytime your
but-
business partner tells you you're dumb, you have to go.
I know.
What? What are you talking about?
You
All right,
just
I gotta
smile.
turn on
You
my ears
Hang
now.
on a second.
Just smile. Just smile. I've even asked Liz about it. She's like, they're at her school that they're asking her to write their IAPs using AI.
Yeah. And what is IAP again?
IAP is so it's
Individual
education plan?
assessment plan.
Yeah.
It's a school-driven initiative for the student.
correct.
It's like a
Sam
learning
had one when he had his hearing loss.
Sure.
That magically stopped. But whatever. I mean, we had IAP meetings.
Sure.
We had
Right.
once or twice. God, and this has been 6 years since we've kind of really dealt with this. I mean, maybe it wasn't 6,
But she's
maybe it
being
was
she's
before
being
5. But
tasked with this.
yeah, but they're asking her, and she's like, I can't. She's like, I've tried it, but it can't. It isn't able to be specific with the way that I want it written. And so she's like, I got to write it on my own. Like I can't trust it. And to sit here and think that, to write IAPs or to do this kind of stuff using AI, like, so are they the ones daily staring at this kid or, trying to do that, but it's, and they're not, obviously they're not, right? It's the individual that's doing it. That individual should still write that. Now, could you use AI to clean it up? Maybe.
Yeah, oh yeah.
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 But it's already doing that. To go back to the point of using AI in school. So what I have found intriguing more than anything is spelling is now secondary.
Right. You just have to get close.
Well, and it's like you got to make it sound. If you can kind of see that it looks correct, whether it's there or there.
Yeah. Right.
If it's as long as it shows there in, whichever there it is.
Sure.
As long as that's in the sentence, can you finish the sentence and be able to understand what it was that they were trying to write, or trying to say.
Yeah.
But I think with the idea of even just spell check, like spell check in such a simple form for something that we have been using for 20
And when did
was
spell
it
check come on?
27 years? I mean, PC and Word, right?
99,
But
98,
even
something like
did Word didn't have it.
Not for a long time.
Not for a long time, like the original. But even now you have it in email. You have it in your, you have it in your.
You have it on your browser.
You have it in your browser. It's checking everything you type.
Everything you type is checked.
And so,
Can you imagine?
so the thing is it's disappointing. Like we're not talking about spell check dumbing us.
Yeah.
Spell check has already started that process.
It did its job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to know how to spell anything. But
Yeah.
can you imagine being a kid now?
Yeah.
Or can you imagine actually writing a paper in 97, 95, 96 when we were in high school and there was no spell check?
I know.
These kids have no idea what that felt like.
Right.
Because now they just type or they ask, give me paragraphs of information. It's all spelled perfectly and correctly. Or if they're typing now, they see the error immediately in the browser. Everybody knows the underline squiggly red line.
But you know, even to have that squiggly line, it isn't 100% dumbing you.
Right.
It still
Well, of
gives
course
you
not.
some chance. You have to go back and look at that, and you look at that word, and you're like,
Is it there?
I don't even know what I was writing. Like, what is this? You know, I don't even know what did I just
Yeah, maybe you
spell?
spent 30 minutes writing or whatever.
Yeah.
You go back and you're like, what is this garbage?
I don't even know what.
Why
this
did I
is.
write this?
And or you read the sentence like the sentence doesn't make any sense. Maybe, but it underlines it. So now you have to go back and make a decision, right? Versus it just changing it for you.
Yeah. Spell check is a really good parallel. It was interesting because that absolutely did something that AI is doing now today, right?
Correct.
It's dumbing down the thought process of reasoning and troubleshooting.
Right.
Yeah. Now,
Real time.
spell check is.
Well, it's grammar.
Sorry. Yeah,
It's
spell
grammar,
check.
too,
Grammar,
right? You know,
grammar.
I'm trying to, it's more than just a word. It's like, you can clean up that phrase.
Your
and I see,
context. Yeah. Your phrasing.
and when we were growing up, everyone in the house, if you were over 12 years old, including mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, everyone knew where a dictionary was.
Yeah.
Or the
Nowadays,
encyclopedia.
You had them in almost every room.
Right.
Yeah.
They were
We had them in every room.
ubiquitous. Yeah. And now for difficult, I get like some French derivation word that is always difficult for me to spell.
Sure.
I go to my phone and I do a speech to text. I let the AI just do it for me. Oh, that's how you spell it. And that's how I get it, is actually from a verbal cue going down into, an electronic device at my handset. But it's really interesting, Shad. I think Noah, you really picked up on that. And the spell check, started dumbing us down years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And even recently, there was a study by MIT researchers, and they prove that people that are using LLMs are cognitively in decline. It's interesting. I'm close to the School of Mines where I live, and I have some friends that are professors up there, and they are encouraging the kids, the students, to use these tools, but within limits. Use them as a tool in your toolbox. And as our kids and our grandkids are growing,
Yeah.
it's really interesting, right? If you think back, Industrial Revolution, the web, World Wide Web revolution, these tools that were created helped us be more effective, right? Instead of only working 40 hours a week, well, I'm working 60 hours a week, but that's because I have a portable, computer in my hand and I can work in my free time. And each generation uses those tools. As the kids are coming up, those tools are becoming available to them. Mm-hmm. They're going to use them. So, Sam and Adam, they're going to be using these AI tools where, like, your mom, she's, using it less and less. There's a lot of, the whole internet revolution, right? The older folks like, I don't care about it. I don't want an iPad. But that's where their grandchildren were communicating. It's like, Grandma, Grandpa, grab the iPad, chat with me. I miss you. I want to talk with you.
Let's talk to each other.
Right.
And
Like
this is a
we're
good parallel for you. 'Cause
to
you
look.
do this all the time with your mom,
I do.
right? And the kids,
Yeah,
right? They always chat with grandma on FaceTime.
they do.
Yeah.
But the older folks, in general, are resisting it. They don't want to adopt it. They're used to their old ways, and they want to go home, go make dinner, and go relax. The kids that have these tools in their hands from infancy are going to use these tools in new novel ways that we can't even imagine, and they will create solutions, and they will not, I think, have the same cognitive abilities, and the ADD and the short attention span is going to be a problem.
Oh,
But
yeah.
these assistants, these personal assistants that we're just, living in this timeline where we're just seeing them. But, these personal assistants are going to be embodied in my personal robot. You know, hey, I'm too tired. Drive me home.
Yeah.
Or I'm too infirm. Carry me from the bed to the car and take me up to the hospital. And that, my personal robot knows my whole history and
Your routines.
and my routines and what I need. When I say take me to the hospital,
The programs you've built for yourself.
and I've built a long-term relationship with it. It opens up other things. Shad, you wanted to say something?
No, after that lunch, when we were talking about the robots too, I actually went home and I had to sit down and think, what in my day am I not capable of doing that a robot, that I would truly want a robot to do for me?
Okay.
And I struggled.
What was your conclusion?
I struggled. Like, I love watching my kids play. Like, I don't want a robot to go play catch with my son.
No.
Right.
Of course.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like, if I am physically not capable of it,
Yeah.
like I can't walk outside to the backyard to be able to do it, then that's going to be one thing.
How about this?
But do I want to go buy a robot to go play catch with my son? Like, that's
No.
that would be pretty disappointing. But I would sit here and think, like, what do I need? Do I need a robot to put on my socks? Do I need a robot to?
Well, that's a good idea. I like that.
To wipe. What's
Put my socks
what's the worst part of our day?
Wipe your tush.
Wiping your tush, right? Do I need a robot to wipe my tush?
Do I need a robot to
Okay.
wipe my tush? That's what I came up with.
well, the thing is they've already figured that out, because there's toilets to do that, right? That will
Toilet robots.
that'll assist
your
with
tush.
that, with the spray of water.
That's a good.
Keep
that's
it
really
there.
good.
Yeah. Don't
But-
connect it to the internet.
I don't know. I couldn't
I
come
have
up
an
with something.
example
I
for
would.
you.
Okay.
I have one for you.
Yeah.
This is probably not one of your least favorite things to do, but as far as I know you, till your garden at the beginning of spring,
Sure.
right? Rototill. Go rototill my garden.
Yeah.
You know what? And then let me know when you're done, and I want to go plant the seeds because I enjoy that human experience of planting seeds.
Sure.
Right. Don't
Getting
plant the
your
seeds
hands
for
in
me.
the dirt.
Don't plant your seeds. Just till the garden and then tell me when you're
Yeah.
done. Send me a text. I don't actually want to see you. Just send me a text
Yeah.
when you're done.
Now, tilling is one thing, because I have always enjoyed being outside. Like,
Right.
I don't think if I have an excuse to not go outside, then I've hit that point.
Have you? Okay. All right. So that's kind of like,
So if
that's your guardrail for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to, if I've hit that point, then I'm on the dark side.
You're on the
I've hit the dark side. Right?
dark side of the moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as far as tilling, do I love to till? No.
No.
Is it a reason to get me outside?
It is.
It is.
But what if the tilling happens while you're playing?
Now
catch
weeding.
with.
Oh. That.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
That
That's
sucks.
annoying. That's
That
annoying.
sucks.
Go weed the garden.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another scenario that's interesting, and this is could run its course through using a robot to do something. Is it worth some of the all right, trying to phrase this
Pivot.
just trying to phrase this
Yeah.
appropriately. When it putting down fertilizer
Okay.
that, what's the best fertilizer?
Nitrogen.
What's the best fertilizer that can also kill you? Or not fertilizer, weed killer.
Oh, you're talking about the
What's that stuff?
Roundup.
Roundup.
or whatever.
Roundup will get,
it kills everything.
well, it literally kills everything.
And you.
Yeah. And to have a robot, like, then you get rid of
Right.
doing that,
Chemical exposure for the human.
Yeah, chemical exposure. You sit there and you think about, back in the day, one of the coolest, it's kind of a museum, a tour of the gold rush history of Colorado up in Idaho Springs, the what do they call it? Come on, guys, help me out.
That gold
Sluice
mine?
box or
No, it's the big gold mine in it's now shut down.
Yeah. You're talking about that
Argo.
gold-
So the
Argo
Argo
mine.
mine.
Yeah.
So the Argo mine tour, where they talk about these kids. The kids were the ones part of the process of, and this was hard rock mining. So this was hard rock as they were crushing the men that worked in the crushing room were deaf in like 4 days. So because
No
it was
hearing
so
protection.
loud, it
Right.
was so loud. They didn't have hearing protection in the
They didn't know.
1800s or whatever it was, 1900s when it was 1900s, like
Early,
1920s, 30s, when they were running the Argo mine.
We're talking
Like
about
these-
horse and buggy time. There was no cars, right? These guys made it
know.
out. They made it out to the west.
I mean, they had
with horse and buggy.
machines because these machines were running.
Steam
They were
engine,
running. They were running these machines that were 5 tons of concrete that were crushing this rock and getting the gold
water
ore out of the rock. Right, and
So
that's the
it's-
only way to do is you crush it.
It was
well, these
sometime
men,
1930s,
These men
40s
were
maybe.
coming out with deaf in 4 days.
Okay.
They were making a gazillion dollars. I mean, they were like modern days. They were making $1 million a year.
Yeah.
But you're deaf.
Right.
Right. And so then they had, what's the next step? How else do you get the fine gold off of the rock? You put it in mercury.
Yeah.
They actually had these kids. They were having kids run around playing in the mercury. These kids were dead in 5 years,
Chemical exposure.
Yeah, chemical exposure to something that they were using to help, get this gold rush going, right? We
had
needed
lead-
gold.
We had lead and gasoline.
Lead
We
and
had-
gas.
we had
Yeah, I
lead
mean,
pencils.
yeah.
We had lead paint.
Lead paint, all this, like you have these things that we have used through time. Is mercury efficient at extracting the gold from the rock? It is. It's very efficient, but put a robot in there.
Let a robot do it.
Let a robot. And then, now is it good to use mercury? Probably not. Is it good to empty it into the Clear Creek River and let it run down to gold in it? It isn't.
No.
Right. But, I think you have these things that let a robot run that stuff,
Right.
and
You had said-
let the robot do the weed killer.
Do you know how much a robot's going to cost?
I don't have any. I've never researched it. I don't really
So
care.
guesstimates are you're going to be able to lease them, rent them,
Sure.
and they're going to be $10 a day. $10 a day. How much productivity can you get out of a robot for $10 a day? A lot.
And you were starting to say, Shed, that you were having difficulty, sort of wrapping your head around that. You're trying to think of like applications, and
Yeah.
those are a couple of good applications. And I bet you within the next few months, that thought process will change a little bit. At least personally for me, I've been thinking a lot about how will a robot replace this human? How will I employ? And I've been thinking about it a lot. If I had a personal robot, well, if I I would just start, assigning some tasks. I want to run a Cat 5 cable from the basement to the upper room. I'll just assign that to the robot and give it its parameters and say, if you have any questions, ask me or whatever. But, that robot with time will have the dexterity to terminate the RJ45, to peel apart that cable, and it'll be able to do basically anything I want. And so it should free me up so I can go play ball with the kids.
Yeah.
And if I can't, well, because my body is now too infirm, I can say, carry me to the backyard and put me in the lounge chair and I can watch and interact. Or I can say, hey, with your free time, build me an exoskeleton.
Right.
Sure.
And it can take, and they'll start buying the parts and they'll start assembling and building.
Oh my God.
And, while I'm sleeping, and if you're, and it can work while I'm sleeping. I can give it all the, give it all the dishes,
Do the
all
laundry,
the laundry,
do the
all the
dishes,
house cleaning,
sweep,
all the
mop.
But, I like to get my hands dirty in the garden. And so, hey, gather the tools for me, put them out there, let me know what the weather report is, and, then just watch the kids and keep an eye on me in case anything happens or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
that was an
that's just
excellent
my
use case, by the way.
Yeah,
that's just that's just my robot. I'm going to have one for little Sally. I'm going to have one for my wife, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm really busy and I don't even want to go to the store. Go to the store and go get me XYZ." Or, because it's something that can't be delivered, within 2 hours by drone. I can just assign my robot, and little Sally, my little, granddaughter, can, accomplish her tasks.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh man, this is so wild. It's just
Yeah. I mean, that's
$10 a day.
good
That's
point.
what they're saying.
Yeah.
$3,500 a year. You're gonna be able to rent a robot.
30 to 70 cents an hour.
Drive me to the airport and then drive home.
Right.
That immediately saves you $80 in Uber, $50 in whatever.
Sure.
Drive me to the airport and then drive the car home and then pick me up when my plane arrives. But I don't want to tell you when it's getting here. So track it and make sure you leave it in enough time to get there. Make sure there's no traffic that you have to deal with, and pick me up within 1 minute of my arrival.
Yeah. I had heard this a long time ago, and for those of us that spend a lot of time in the mountains, have the understand how horrible traffic is
Right.
in the mountains. Now, if you had to commute into downtown, you would have a similar opinion of rush hour traffic, right?
Yeah.
Stoplights, or distracted driving. I mean, I sit there and I tell people all the time that ask me, why did I stop driving motorcycles? I was driving home from the Sturgis motorcycle rally, and I looked at the car next to me, and the driver was texting on the interstate, I-25, coming between Cheyenne and Denver. And I was like, I'm done. This is my last trip.
That's it.
I'm gonna put my motorcycle on the market, and I stopped riding for something that I love so much. I mean, that fresh air, the feeling of, the true idea of freedom when you're on a motorcycle, especially driving in the Black Hills or driving in the Rocky Mountains, or, I mean, it doesn't make any difference in the prairie like that.
Yeah.
You can't, the distraction that you have between you and like everything around you it's incredible. Anyways.
Yeah. No, the human experience on a motorcycle is incredible. Yeah. Absolutely. That freedom, that movement, the air around you, the space around you, the senses that you get, the wind, the smells,
sure,
the bugs, all of it.
The bugs, the rocks,
feeling alive,
the rain hitting your face.
All of it. That human experience on a motorcycle is so important to people to understand that, what you're saying.
But the thing about it, though, is you add in self-driving cars. Once that self-driving car becomes real and it is, it becomes the norm on the road.
You're gonna
guess
get a motorcycle?
What? Then the idea of safe driving.
Yeah.
People can sit there and text all they want. It doesn't make any difference.
It's going to come back around, isn't it?
Are
you going to get another motorcycle?
Well, I mean, self-drive. Will I see it in my lifetime? Maybe not. Or in my time.
Are you going to get another motorcycle when you see that happen?
I would, but I might be 75, and at that point, I might lose interest in it.
Or you're going to have peptides that make you feel like you're 50.
Or sure, that's fine.
And you'd be like, I'm going to ride this motorcycle across the United States.
Right.
But at that time, our ability to manually drive a vehicle may be removed.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're the danger, right? The full self-driving.
We're the problem.
We are the humans, right? The unpredictable. And so you could be riding a motorcycle, 40 years from now, but you don't have control. You tell it where to go, but it controls the actual journey.
I think what is intriguing to me, if the self-driving vehicle, and someone told me this, and you see it every single time you're stopped at a stoplight, more than like a stop sign.
Yeah.
But what happens is you have enough cars parked, backed up in the stoplight, right? And so let's say you have 45 seconds, right? They're timed. Mm-hmm. Most stoplights are timed. Some of them
30 seconds.
Some of them have sensors or whatever, but you get some amount of time, and they could probably sit there. In most studies, tell you how many vehicles you can get through in 45 seconds. Right before it changes, then you got to go the other direction.
Traffic studies, yeah.
And so you sit there in the back of that line, and what do you see? What happens? It turns green, and then you create the accordion, like the accordion effect, or the slinky
Slinky effect, yeah.
And so you have one car, the next car, right? And then by the time it kind of gets back to the end, right, it's already changed, and you only got so many cars through. Well, what happens when all vehicles can communicate with the stop sign,
or with
the
each
stop
other.
light at the exact same time, or with each other, they all move at the same time.
Yeah.
You can probably get 3 times the number of vehicles through in that 45 seconds when everybody moves. You have the back car is moving at the exact same time the front car is.
Right.
You don't have distractions. You don't have cell phones.
Right.
People sitting there staring at their cell phone, and they're all moving at the exact same time. You get 3 times, 5 times the number of vehicles. Yeah. Do you have backups at stoplights anymore? You don't. You only create the stoplight to let the other direction go.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe.
Or
So-
help the
and then-
pedestrian so they have a way to cross.
And then you have the exact same thing thing on the interstate. You know,
Yeah.
you have people wanting to slow down. I mean, granted, there's some curiosity with it. I'm pretty sure I was coming back, I don't know, maybe a month ago from Summit County. Just went through Eisenhower Tunnel, going down past, I think I was past the ramp for Loveland, and I swear to God, there was a dead wolf. If it was a coyote, that was the biggest coyote I've ever seen.
Okay.
This thing was massive. It wasn't a bear. This is the middle of winter, so it's definitely not going to be a bear.
Right.
But this was the biggest thing I've ever seen. Massive. Every single car was going slow to see what this thing was. Right. It slowed down traffic on I-70 trying to get down the mountain.
Was it the chupacabra?
I don't know. Maybe. I was thinking we're going through the watching the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What do they call those?
Oh,
The little rodent things.
Who knows what they are? Yeah.
But anyways, the what do they call them?
Demogorgon?
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
Ah, this
Whatever.
is hilarious. Let me find out.
Anyways, it was, you fix that when you have that self-driving car. Can you tell it to slow? Demogorgon, yeah. Can you tell it to slow down to look? Yeah, right. You're gonna naturally do that. But even the metering on the interstate.
Yeah.
Right. They're metering. Well, they're metering to keep traffic flow. But if traffic can sit there and stop that.
Yeah.
According, will that fix I-70 traffic going to Summit County? I don't know, but if it helps,
It'll help, guaranteed.
it's worth it if it helps, right?
It's worth it if it helps.
Yeah.
And eventually there'll be like the chain law warning. Where it'll be like you can't go up the mountain unless you have chains. It'll be you can't go up the mountain unless you have autonomous driving.
Yeah, right.
Between the
Appropriate
hours
tires.
of
Your
6
car
a.m.
is
and
not
9.
allowed to continue on because you have inappropriate tires.
Yeah. Or
it stops you from
do
going
you
up.
not have an autonomous driver? I'm sorry. You're not allowed up the mountain between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. because that's the highest traffic volume,
Right.
and we just want robots up the mountain during that time.
Right.
Well, there's already an insurance company that will charge you half price if you use full self-driving 100% of the time.
I mean,
What?
think
No.
Yeah, Look up
What is this?
Lemonade.
Lemonade
Insurance.
You're kidding.
well,
if
and,
you commit to using full self-driving all the time, your rates, they can have them.
No.
This is what
Well-
I've heard. I haven't. You can go look it up.
but how many deaths a year are there from drunk driving? How many deaths a year are there from
Distracted
driving? Probably as many or more. There's or fatigue, driving fatigue.
Yeah, it's as bad as
distractions.
as bad as drinking.
This is a great question.
Drunk driving
causes-
10,000.
Go ahead, Chad, please.
Okay.
Please.
No, you're the one that spent all the effort typing it in.
Read it off.
10,000 deaths annually in the U.S. Distracted driving is 3,000, more than 3,000 each year. So we talked about, drunk driving is 10,000, distracted is 3,000. What was the other one we said?
So 13,000 just for
Fatigue.
that.
So what's how many deaths happen from fatigue?
How many deaths a year from
Fatigue driving.
fatigue driving? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's ask.
And like they say here on the screen, it's, some of these numbers for distracted or fatigued are probably underreported. So those numbers
Right.
are probably
Yeah, of
higher.
course.
And,
6,500, it's more from just drowsy driving.
Yeah.
Like
More than distracted.
more than
Almost.
20,000.
64% of drunk driving.
Yeah.
More than half.
But I mean,
drunk driving accident. Deaths.
But then also, how much of our jail space is filled up from drunk driving offenders, and it's not always the first time. The first time, sometimes you're in overnight, right? And then they let you back out once you sober up or whatever,
Sure.
But it's the repeat offenders that now, are they clogging up the system? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Are they a waste of space for something that, maybe a machine can fix?
So now
That
you
would
can be drunk. You can leave the bar. You can hop in your Tesla or whatever the autonomous vehicle is.
Yeah, and
It's
get
gonna
home.
It's going to show up and it's going to drive you home.
Right.
With time. You're not supposed to do that now. You're not supposed to be inebriated with full self. You need to be able to take control of the car. But with time.
How about the Waymo?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Sure.
It's just not as sophisticated, or the Waymo has human override interaction capability.
I think they have
Is that what it is?
Well, don't they have the remote? They have the remote, yeah.
Remote driving mode, right? So
Or
they
do
can
you have to
connect.
sit there and blow a breathalyzer to get into a Waymo?
I don't think you do. I don't think it cares how drunk you are.
Yeah.
As long as you pay for the Waymo.
Right. I mean, they're not going to check.
They're not going to check. And listen,
I mean,
Tesla.
Uber doesn't check.
Raymond's brought this
Doesn't
up. He's brought this up in multiple conversations we've had, chats we've had about Tesla having this autonomous vehicle program where you're going to buy a Tesla and then you can say, okay, go work for Uber while I'm sleeping, make money, and come home.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to be the Tesla's going to be able to pay for itself,
Sure.
essentially. People just catching rides from the airport, whatever. Can you
Or
imagine
my-
just having, like you were talking about this with Turo, right? And a couple you knew was running 4 or 5 Turo cars or trucks or whatever it was, and they would just leave them out in the parking lot, automated pin pad entry.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no human intervention at all. You just boop, 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 and you're in.
Right.
And now you take that vehicle and you drive. Well, it'd be similar to that. You just maybe have a fleet of Teslas
Right.
that are making you $200 to $300 a night or whatever, just running people back and forth from the airport to Denver.
What I find almost disappointing with Tesla is they're so close and they've put a lot of effort into their autonomous driving.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're almost there.
They're almost there.
They are going to give it up to build a robot.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
They're shifting.
They're
shifting. Yeah.
You can't. Don't stop. Like you're on the cusp of something that we need in society now. Are we going to be able to cycle through? What do we have? 2.5 million driving cars, active vehicles in America. 10. Well,
Autonomous,
it's more
you
than
mean?
2.5. We have 200 million.
Autonomous? Are you talking about?
No, just full.
Just regular.
Full
How many
vehicle.
active cars?
How many?
are in United States?
It's 40 million?
Oh,
What's
no,
your
it's
guess?
way more than that.
298 million that are registered.
Right.
And so you have that many vehicles to cycle through unless there's a plug-in,
Yeah.
which is what they should be working on. I mean, I get they're working on the Tesla, but work on the plug-in to, and to go back, don't get me wrong. Like, I think there's a purpose for a robot in society. To go back to the original circle, right? I think there's a purpose for the robot in society, for some of these purposes, I think it's.
Now, do you think that maybe Tesla is abandoning the autonomous vehicle, or not abandoning it? They're going to continue that program, but do you think maybe the right interface is the robot to be driving the car?
And maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe that is the plug-in, right?
Instead of letting the car drive the car, you're going to have the robot with higher sensitivity, more ability, more reasoning, more troubleshooting ability to then drive the car versus having the car drive itself.
I mean, and maybe that's how it.
Or this is going to be pitched to us. Oh, the cars are now going to be attached to a Neuralink network, because then we need the cars to do reasoning and troubleshooting and problem solving. And now the cars are getting live feed information from Starlink on how to improve their driving based on this Neuralink ability. Maybe they're going to combine these two. They're going to use the information they're learning from the robots, and they're going to use it into the cars. That's my gut feeling. That's what they're doing, right? Oh. They're catching the telemetry data from robots, and they're going to use it either in autonomous driving programs inside of the Teslas, or they're going to put a robot in the Tesla and let it drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Because he just combined SpaceX and something else, didn't he?
Right. Yeah. Well, his mission is to grow SpaceX. And with Tesla, it's not like he's throwing away data. He's collecting all the data, right? All these, all this data is feeding in. And that's why his robo fleet of taxis has started up in Austin and San Francisco. It's all building for, Elon is no fool, right? He's, cumulatively adding everything, there's a master plan that he's working on.
Yeah.
Right. And so he's not abandoning the full self-driving. He's killing off a couple of lines within
production
Tesla, right? And he's converting that to robots.
That's right.
Right. So the car sales have been declining a little bit, and the rise of robots is increasing. If he doesn't get with it, he's going to be left behind. And he is so close, right? And these Optimus robots have been also fed this information from the cars. And so, the robots are, looking at that same data.
They're going to have all of the years that Tesla was running, that was collecting data, feeding into the Tesla network, storing it. They're going to have all of that to work on. All of that.
Yeah, they've got a lot.
So if one robot learns something, and we were talking about this the other day, if one robot, let's complicated task.
Surgery.
Picking up that red thing, picking up that red handset, right? One robot's going to learn how to pick that up. It's going to send the instruction to all the other robots. This is how you pick up this phone.
Right.
Right? There's no time lag. It's immediate.
Right.
I've learned something new. Here it is for the repository. Grab it.
Sure.
Yep. I was doing open heart surgery and this happened. I've not seen this before in any of my training data. So upload it to, and there's how we solved it. And then, 60,000, surgical robots across the globe now have that new information.
And they've learned by running AI simulations.
Yeah.
They've learned all of it. Are you, at some point, are you going to want a human surgeon? Because we're probably going to have surgery in our lifetime again, right?
Right.
Or are you going to want a robot?
Well, they're already doing robots.
I know. So what are you going to prefer? Are you going to pick a robot? Because they're going to give you a choice, Shad. We're going to give you Bob. Bob's 62, prime of his life, has 30 years experience as a doctor, as a surgeon, neurosurgeon, whatever.
Right.
And we have this robot. He's 6 days old.
Well, I think what's happening is the robot isn't making the decision. The robot is going into your leg and doing the repair.
But if there's a problem, troubleshooting. What is the robot? Is the robot going to be better or worse than the human?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But we have a suspicion that the robots are going to be better.
Yeah.
Right?
It might.
Because they're going to learn faster. They're going to be more stable. There's going to be no human glitch involved. There's going to be no nervous system.
Right.
Where it's going to be very smooth and steady. It's going to be able to peel that eggshell off that egg without dismantling the membrane of the egg.
Right.
Which it can do already. Right? And it's not going to even be remotely driven, because right now there's remote-driven surgical robots that still a human being is performing the tasks, figuring out the troubleshooting, or whatever it is.
Right.
That's going to be totally autonomous. The robot's going to go, oh, I see Shad has his vein is slightly different here. What do we do with that? We put a stent in there because he's got a bulge. whatever. I'm just making shit up.
Sure.
Right. But it's going to be that on the fly. I've learned this from 500,000 simulated AI surgeries and real life surgeries. And I got all that telemetry data from all these human beings that we've operated on at a 99.9% success rate. And that 0.1 we've learned from every single mistake has been learned and never repeated.
Sure. Yeah.
I think I'm going to pick the robot.
Yeah. You know, I think half of the issue with the medical industry as a whole, will the robot fix it? It'll be interesting to see, because I think so many doctors and hospitals and surgeons and whatever, they are so tight with their information. I think a lot of them will experience something and don't want someone else to know, right? They want to be the person, right? They want to be the person. So they want to be the specialist.
The ego gets in the way.
Yeah, I think that's half of our, a big chunk of our problem with the medical industry as a whole is there's an incredible number of smart people that could pass information if they would be willing to do it.
Right.
And I don't think very many of them are. Now, how will the medical industry adapt this? That would be interesting, right? I mean, how would the insurance industry adapt this?
Because there's a demand, right? There's a demand for highly qualified surgeons, highly qualified doctors, highly qualified whatever.
Right.
Right? All of these things. We need parts for our body, 3D printed, right? This is new. This has been around for the last 10, 15 years. People are getting heart valves printed. They're getting whatever printed, right? Almost at the atomic layer. Almost that small, that definition.
Elon's heading that way, by the way.
Atomic printer? Is that what he's going to do?
He's going to make his own fab chips, right?
Yeah, he's going to make his own fab
down
chips.
to the molecular level.
That's right. Atomic construction of things.
Yeah.
I mean, not to bring the alien conversation into this particular chat, but when they evaluated what alien craft looked like, there's no seams. There's no seams on alien craft, assuming there's alien craft, right? There's no seams. So there's no welds.
Sure.
It's printed. It's manufactured in a single process.
Right.
Right.
It's one great big mold.
That's the thought, right? They were using atomic layer printing for whatever these tiny little thin layers of poly whatever they are.
Who knows?
Who knows what these materials are? Element 115 and whatever. Anyway, atomic printing is the direction we're heading. So you can print things at that layer.
So be able to replace not just the heart valve, but the whole heart.
Yeah.
And then, I was thinking when we were talking about the surgery, for me, the parallel.
What's your pick?
Just my parallel is LASIK surgery, right? We were serving call center clients back in the day when LASIK was new, right? And those initial, LASIK surgeries were performed by humans running the laser. And now, like, you go in for LASIK surgery. Do you want the human or do you want the bot? I mean, nobody chooses the human, right? Not, because we've already crossed that threshold. It's already proven, and people have more confidence in the robot to, do that laser surgery on my eye versus a human.
For that specific task.
And I was thinking, like, with the medical industry, I would hope that they would share all the medical knowledge, right? That way my surgical robot has the knowledge of 600,000 surgeries. But what if, this medical company says, well, we're not going to share that data. So then they only have a pool of 20,000 surgeries.
Right.
And then they're siloed.
Like you were saying, these brands, they're going to establish themselves as a medical robot surgery brands, for example. That's our context. Like you were saying, some companies are going to keep that 20,000. Some companies are going to share it. But the company that has the most iterations of that surgery, they're going to win. Mm-hmm. Right? They're going to be the trusted brand. Right. Johnson & Johnson or Bayer, whoever these...
Whatever those new companies are, the current ones that pivot if they're smart.
Whatever they are. Yeah. they're going to win. They have the most data. Whoever has the most data is going to be the trusted brand, right? And the most truthful with that data.
Right. Well, with this rise in automated general intelligence, we're starting to see recursive learning.
Yeah.
Right. New versions of ChatGPT are informed by recursive learning, and the technology is just going to keep getting better and better and better. And a lot of the futurists are saying, hey, Billy, Susie, you're thinking about what you're going to do, Are these futurists, are they encouraging their kids to go on to college, to go on to become a surgeon?
Do you know what Elon said? He said, go to college if you want the experience for the social aspect of it. He said, that's
make
it.
friends and
Yeah, you unplug yourself somehow. Yeah. It's probably time to wrap this one up. I think we probably had a great conversation about
and there's more to talk about in the future.
There's definitely more to talk about in the future. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your time, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.